what is your overall feelings on seeing Labyrinth on the big screen?
It's very different from when I saw it as a child.
I would agree. I own the movie, and I would say this was a different experience for me.
My very first thought, okay, I'm going to run through a couple thoughts. My very first thought was, oh dear Lord, thank goodness for CGI today. Because of the owl that flies.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
You leaned in and gave me my second thought of, thank you, world, for putting the credits at the end of the movie instead of the beginning of the movie.
Like, that stuck out to me like, man, this intro is taking forever. Yeah, okay.
Third thought, what is the glitter budget on this film?
Oh my goodness. Everything was covered in glitter.
Everything.
I've never noticed that before.
Yes, it really stands out on the big screen.
So much glitter.
And then the last thought that I'll leave you with is, why doesn't David Bowie own underwear?
He doesn't need to. Or he didn't need to. Rest in peace. Yeah, he didn't need to. He was way too cool. He was above that.
So you hold this movie in very high regard.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't know what it is, maybe think we're talking about Pan's Labyrinth, give them a quick rundown. Yeah,
so Labyrinth came out in 1986. A little historical background. This is a Jim Henson movie, and Jim Henson was very excited for this movie. David Bowie is in it. Jennifer Connelly, a very young Jennifer Connelly, is in this movie. It had a very expensive budget for the time, and it flopped miserably. Jim Henson died shortly after this movie was released, and they say it was the darkest time in his life. Content-wise, Jennifer Connelly doesn't like her baby brother. The Goblin King takes him, and she has to go to a labyrinth to get him back. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. With, of course, Jim Henson, some Muppets.
Yeah, so it's tons of puppets and stuff. And to me, that is still the greatest thing about this movie, is I will always appreciate the inventiveness of and the artistry that goes into creating these guys. You know, there were a few thoughts that popped in my head during this movie. One, watching a movie that is so clearly from the 80s, especially in music, is really weird in a theater.
Yes, it is.
And I was kind of finding myself laughing at it more than I normally would, because to me, if I were to watch this at home, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's from the 80s. I wouldn't think anything of it. But in a theater, when you just got this weird music playing, it's like, this is weird. It trips me out. I've never been a big fan of the weird dream sequence in the movie. Again, it makes it way weirder in a theater for some reason. Yeah. It is a music video. It's all it was. Yes. I swear he made a song and was like, where are we going to put the song? And they're like, oh, we'll just do a music video in the middle of this. So here we go. It feels like that. It just feels very weird. And then sticking to that artistry, there is a character in the movie that you maybe see, it's maybe a 5-minute segment, when you probably don't even remember this. The guy that has the bird as a hat. Mm-hmm. Okay?
The old man?
There's a ton of artistry that goes into that for a 5-minute segment.
The fun fact, not one of my fun facts on the notes, the puppeteer for the old man is the guy who voices Miss Piggy.
Oh, that is kind of a fun fact.
He didn't do any voices in this, but he puppeted that guy.
So I was sitting there watching it, and I said, now that I'm seeing this, that was probably a waste of money and resources. And then at the end of the movie, all of the puppets are kind of in one big scene. So I was like, oh, okay. So they brought this guy back that was in there for 5 minutes and just kind of randomly have him here dancing at the end of the movie. It's a weird experience watching this in the theaters.
It's so great, though, at the same time.
It is great. There is something very cool and unique feeling about it, but Jennifer Connelly kind of is awful in this movie. Yeah. She's a kid.
The writing in it is
rough.
It was written by, what's his name, Terry Gilliam? From Monty Python?
Yeah. It's still a fun movie. It's still so,
it screams 80s.
It does. There are two types of movies that I always have a weird soft spot for my heart, in my heart for, and that's Jim Henson puppet type films, which just are almost impossible. They almost just don't exist anymore, outside of the Muppets, which might occasionally pop in here now and again, and claymation films. And it's because I appreciate the artistry that goes into making that medium, and it's done by hands. There's just something that feels so special and unique to it, and this movie has it from start to finish. Just unique minds were coming up with just weird. It's a constant movie of just this is the next weird thing. This is the next weird thing. This is the next weird thing. End of movie. And I love that about it. So it's still enjoyable to see. So if you do have this coming up in your local theater, go see it.
That is it for us this week.
Hey, whoa.
Whoa.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, now you can end it.
Crushed it.